Well, hello folks, and welcome to another video. We're in Flight Simulator 2020. Today we're back at Maun, at the southeastern corner of the Okavango Delta in Botswana in Africa. Those of you who've seen the first video I put up doing a review of the Okavango scenery will know how beautiful it is. We looked at the 6 camps and the airstrips associated with it. Today we're going to have a look at the 3 additional airstrips that Sim Work Studios have supposedly worked on, and we'll see what the situation is there when we arrive, and have a quick tour locally to see what animals we can see. And then, all being well, we got time, we're going to go up to Saronga, which is appears to be the northernmost airstrip, right up in the northwest corner of the Delta. Have a look at that, somewhere I've not visited in the simulation at all, see what that's like. So the plan for this video, we'll show you the departure here from Maun and climb up to cruise, and we'll take some video on the way, and then we'll re-enter the video as we approach our first stop, which will be Omdop airstrip, and you'll see the landing, and we'll have a little local tour. Then we'll take off from Omdop and head to Vumbura, which is not very far away, literally 7 miles, and then from Vumbura we'll go up to Zamaksai, I hope I pronounced that right, and then lastly we'll depart there and head up to Saronga and have a look. So all of that should be a nice amount in the video, and we'll get to have a look at the situation here, see the terrain. So we'll take off again from runway 08, and this time I'm going to loop round to the right so you can see Maun as we climb across it, and then track northwest towards our destination. As you saw in the opening shot there, we're in a new aeroplane. This is a Cessna bush plane that's been converted by one of the guys on FlightSim.2. I'll put his name up and the file name up above shortly. Well, I've flown this a couple of times. It's a joy to fly. It handles very realistically, much better than the default Cessna, and it has really short landing, slow landing capabilities. Beautiful, perfect for the bush. So we're going to fly that, and there we go. Should be fine. So we're started, get brakes off, taxi down to runway 08 and complete the takeoff, and we'll, as I said, climbing right turn, take some views over the airfield before we head out northwest. So thanks for joining me, let's get started. So it's midday. We're not using real weather obviously because I want you to see as much as possible. We've just got a few clouds about. Maun, for those of you who've not seen any of the other videos I've done and don't know anything about this situation, just a quick explanation. Maun is a frontier town on the southeast corner of the country of Botswana in Central Africa, and before COVID thousands of wealthy tourists would fly into Botswana to look at the wildlife and see the big game up close and personal. In order to do that, they'd fly into Johannesburg, and then they'd transfer to Air Botswana, who would fly them up here to Maun. And once they arrived here in Maun, the idea is that they go and stay in the beautifully luxury camps out in the Delta and literally live day to day with the wildlife. But the only way to get there is by bush plane, similar to this, but they're normally Cessna 207s, 208 Caravans and so on, and other planes like the Skyvan. And these strips literally are just that, literally pieces of not even tarmac, basically dirt strips out in the middle of the Delta that you wouldn't even drive your car on, some of them, and of course they're pretty dreadful in the wet season. But some 25 airlines or so here at Maun with their bush pilots and bush planes exist to cater for that need and transport the wealthy tourists up into their luxury camps every winter, usually the season from sort of late November through till February. I have to say I really like this plane. This is obviously a modification. I don't know what he's done to it, but it flies beautifully. Okay, the tyres might seem a bit out of place, but the whole thing is perfect really for this kind of flying. So we're set ready to go. Here we go. So we're way above 3,000 feet here on the altitude, so I've got the mixture lean back to help the engine. But this plane is so steady. Look at that liftoff. So we come a right turn. Have to try really hard to get this aircraft properly leveled out, the correct power settings, but it is a lovely plane to fly. I want to go up to 4,500 feet. So there you can see the airport of Maun, the river running to the other side there. So we across the river. And this is the bush, as they say. If you look back at the airfield there, so there we are, on course to Omdop airstrip. 4,500 feet, weather's not bad at all, clouds are basic, 65 miles to run, about 45 minutes, probably a bit less actually. So while we're up here, I'm going to put up a map which has been brought to me very kindly by a chap from the Orbix forums who managed to discover this. It's a Mac Air map showing the Delta and some bits and pieces, give you some idea of the layout. Basically the Okavango Delta is bounded by the Maremi Game Reserve in central northern Botswana, and one of the best places to see the wildlife anywhere in the world, which is why the tourists come here every winter. And it's bush planes like this that take them out to the luxury camps. If you want to see what those camps look like, I will put a little picture up, but you need to look at my other video and have a look at them. I've also done a series of 8 videos on this, on the camps and the Delta before this new scenery came out, and that's available on my playlist if you want to look at some of those. So along with the tourists that come out here every winter, we also get an influx of pilots. These pilots are literally right out of flying school with their commercial licenses, got maybe 200 to 300 hours on the logbook, brand new out of flying school. And they come out to Maun to compete for jobs. Basically every winter you've got, of the 20 odd airlines out here, people have a contract for anywhere between 1 and 3 years, and the idea is they use the bush plane flying to build up their flying hours to move on to the airlines and bigger jobs, better jobs, which leaves vacancies for the new pilots to come in. Now it's always literally oversubscribed, but the guys come out here every winter hoping to get a job, and live the life of a bush pilot flying out in the Okavango Delta. You want to see something about what that's like, go onto YouTube, do a search on bush pilots and have a look at the Bush Pilots of Botswana series. I know episode 1 is on there. There's 10 episodes. It came out on the Dave channel in 2011 and gives you an idea of the sort of hazards and the adventures these guys face every time they take people out into the Delta. So I have Bing data and photogrammetry and everything turned on at all at ultra resolution. So what you're seeing there is the African bush being presented at its best possible resolution and how it looks, and it does look pretty realistic when you compare it to what we've seen in the show. And every year this whole place floods, thousands of tons of water, which is what draws the wildlife. I have to say I really enjoy this aeroplane. It's so easy to fly, it's quite realistic. We've bunged some extra fuel in it so we can complete this little tour, but it's absolutely lovely. What a beautiful little plane. So there we are, we're into the flight, got some time to go. About 50 miles or so to fly, which is not going to take too long. I'll come back to you as we approach Omdop and get set for the landing. Welcome back, folks. We're getting close now, about 22 miles left to run. There's Chief's Camp, or Chief's Island airstrip, and the camp is dead ahead. So this is pretty much the start of where SimWorks Studios have started to develop the place. Looks really good. See what we can see. Visibly looks really nice. There's the camp, and we've got some wildlife down here. So those are the lodges. As you can see, we've got elephants and stuff here as well. Beautifully done. And we've got some more wildlife down there. As you can see, the delta's been beautifully reproduced. It's just typical African bush. Just a quick look to the left here. As you can see there, another airstrip. That's Mombo Camp. Now that airstrip looks really typical of the way it should look. It's literally a dirt strip, a sandy strip. We are looking right down the strip. So Mombo Camp and the airstrip. So coming up on the camp now, or coming up on where Omdop should be. We're literally 12 miles away, so I'm going to stay with you for a minute, and in a minute we'll start the descent and get down to about 3,700 feet, which will be about 500 feet above the ground. So as you can see, is that the landscape's beautifully done here. It is sometimes quite difficult to find the animals. There are some animals out here away from where the camps are located, but they are quite difficult to find, but as I said, lots to explore, worth looking at. But the way they've put together this terrain is absolutely incredible. It's been very, very well done. So 5 miles from the strip, and this is where it is. So let's start a little descent. Let's come down to 3,000, down to 3,700 I should think. So overfly the strip. Try and maintain 3,800. So there's the airstrip. Shouldn't be grey, unfortunately. It should be a dirt strip. Oh, animals there by the waterhole. Elephants by the looks of it. So let's go downwind. So one of the things you have to be mindful of flying out here in the real world is animals congregating on the airstrips, particularly at sunset. Because the problem is that obviously at sunset the animals can see the predators a lot easier on an open piece of ground. It's incredible capabilities, this aircraft. It's so good at doing tight turns, all sorts of things like this. Just amazing. Not sure, we've got some animals or something there in the bush to the left. So we're coming over the river. See if we can make a decent landing. I'll tell you, my landings in the bush plane have improved so much since I've got this aircraft. In over the trees. Welcome. Welcome to Omdop. And there's the sign that you can see in the grass there. And there you've got the 4x4. I mean, okay, the strip it looks like asphalt and it shouldn't be, but it's okay, it's fine. They've done it. The only thing this seems to do is it seems to go a bit to really go to the right if I hit the brakes. So I need to watch it. So there we go, got various bits and pieces, people here. I'll just have a quick scan of the landscape around the field. So we've got some houses down there, look. Lovely the way this has been done. Really would like to see more in the way of animals, but very nice to see. As you can see, it's just beautifully the way this is done. And we've got some animals over here. Elephants. And a little baby one there too. Two baby ones. Animated elephants. Very nice. And we've got elephants here again over by this watering hole. All out for a drink. Just a little run up this waterway, see if there's anything interesting. I have to say, the bush, what they've done is just amazing. So amazing. Really has brought this place to life. Okay, welcome back. That was just a quick look around the local area. Now let's head off to Bumbara. All set, let's go. Such a smooth takeoff in this aircraft. Now the next airstrip, Bumbara, is actually only 6 miles away, so I'm not going to go too high. Try and stay around 4,000. Come back in over the airstrip. So I'm using the GPS out here, as you can see, to navigate, because it's so difficult to navigate here by reference to the ground unless you know what you're doing. But boy, does it look nice. Just looking out for animals again. Oh, giraffes. There we are, directly below the tail there. There we go. So Bumbara's off to our right side. There she is. Another grey airstrip. It's the sort of terrain that you look at and you can think you're ready to spot animals any minute. So much better than what I saw before. And that looks like another strip nearby. It looks more like a bush strip should be. Okay, let's get downwind. So right base. When you get this power setting and the trim setting right, this aircraft is so stable. I love it. Let's try and get it lined up. Watch the trees. Nice one. There's Woomera, as it should be. Beautiful the way they've done this. Look at the trees. My only critic, as I say, is these grey strips. They don't look right at all. They're not grey. They're sand coloured. They've been sandblasted by the heat of the day. Temperatures get up to 45 degrees when it's really warm in the hot months, and these strips are baked. Police, so what are the police doing here? So there we are, ready for takeoff to the last camp. Let's have a very quick look locally. I don't want to spend too long here. So looking down the strip, as you can see, you've got the area down there in the middle. Let's go and have a quick look at this other strip, because this looks like the real deal. And I've yet to find out what it is. I'm probably going to have to look on the new map that I've got and see what this is. But once again, beautiful countryside, very, very well created, beautifully created. Well, maybe it's not a strip, but it really looked like one from the air. But in an emergency, you could probably set down here. You definitely could set down here, especially in a short takeoff and landing aircraft like we've got today. I haven't found the lions and I haven't found the crocs. But we keep looking. Another little watering hole. Oh, here we are. Elephants on the move. So there you go, folks, that's Vumbera. It's located on the northern part of the Okavango Delta, and had a look at the local environment there. Maybe try a landing on that supposed strip and see how well you do. This is the end of part one. I decided to make this a two-part video because I didn't want it to be too long. Part two, we're going to go up to Zaksamai and then on to Saronga to finish the two-part bush pilot series in this set of videos. So thanks for joining me. I hope you'll join me in part two. This is Lee sitting on the ground at Vumbera saying bye for now. We'll see you shortly. Take care. Bye bye for now.